are investigating, and they now say the four may have been suffering from carbon monoxide exposure. It happened just before 9 in the evening. All four people who were taken to hospital will survive.
This is All News Radio at 7:04. After some thunder and lightning overnight, storms have headed east in time for the Honda Indy later today. Sioux City weather specialist Alistair Alders says we should be in the clear today and in the near future when it comes to any severe weather.
Well, behind this cold front, not a lot of active weather to talk about. High pressure is going to build in, so we have lots of sunshine in the forecast as we go through Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday. By Thursday, we could see a few showers pop up. Still a mix of sun and cloud, but the hot, humid weather will provide a bit of instability with a cold front set to move through the region.
The race is to get underway just before 12:30 this afternoon. Colton Herta is defending his title from last year, starting in the pole position after he finished first in yesterday's qualifiers. You will want to keep in mind that there's some road closures around the track as well. The Lakeshore shut down between Strawn and BC Road. That's until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning.
680 News Time, 7:05. 7 people are still in critical condition after they were mowed down by a car outside a club in Los Angeles early on Saturday morning. CNN's Julia Vargas Jones has the latest from police.
A man plowed through that crowd, injuring at least 30 people. And after that, he was taken out of the car, and then a fight ensued. He was beaten by the crowd outside, and then somebody pulled out a gun and shot the driver. That shooter is still at large. Authorities say that he's considered armed and dangerous right now. Mayor Karen Bass said in a statement on Saturday that, quote, "This is a heartbreaking tragedy. I want to thank the more than 100 LAFD and LAPD personnel who responded to the scene to help save lives." Now, according to reporting from CNN's John Miller, there's no indication beyond the impaired state of the driver that there was any other criminal intent and no connection to terrorism at this point. Julia Vargas Jones, CNN, Los Angeles.
680 News Time, 7:06. You might notice something different if you take the TTC today. Fare inspectors with new uniform moving forward. They'll be wearing a gray shirt and vest. And they're also now titled Provincial Offences Officers. They're still mainly responsible for making sure that people pay their fares. The TTC has been making a larger effort to get people to pay, as it says fare evasion cost $140 million every year.
Families of Israeli hostages being held in Gaza are urging Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to end the war in Gaza and bring back their relatives. City's Madison Fitzpatrick has the latest on ceasefire talks.
He's playing petty politics on the backs of 50 hostages and 1 female hostage, and on the backs of our brave soldiers.
The families also appealed to U.S. President Donald Trump, calling for his leadership to bring hostages back home.
Mr. President, sir, we are counting on...
Trump said 10 Israeli hostages would be released, quote, very shortly. Israeli and Hamas negotiators have been taking part in the latest round of ceasefire talks in Doha since July 6th, discussing a U.S.-backed proposal for a 60-day ceasefire. The truce proposal calls for 10 hostages held in Gaza to be returned along with the bodies of 18 others, spread out over 60 days. In exchange, Israel would release a number of detained Palestinians. For City News, I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
680 News Time, 7:07. Iceland is letting the curious get close to a new volcanic eruption.
After a volcanic eruption in southwest Iceland prompted evacuations, including at popular nearby tourist sites like the Blue Lagoon, visitors have now been allowed back to Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula to witness the spectacle firsthand.
It was something very special for us.
I flew actually about 10 hours to reach here to see the volcano.
The Sudnukskígar volcano began erupting early Wednesday morning. Iceland is known as a hotspot for volcanic activity. Dave Packer, ABC News.
This is All News Radio. Canada's premiers will be in Muskoka for a meeting starting tomorrow. It's Premier Doug Ford's turn to host. Prime Minister Mark Carney will also meet with the premiers. Trade talks with the U.S. are expected to ramp up soon, and trade and tariffs from the U.S. also expected to be the big discussion points at the meeting.
The verdict in 5 former Hockey Canada players' sexual assault trial to be handed down on Thursday. Carter Hart, Michael McLeod, Dylan Dubé, Cal Foote, and Alex Formanton have all pleaded not guilty to sexual assault. McLeod also pleaded not guilty to being a party to the offence of sexual assault. The 5 were teammates on Canada's 2018 World Junior Team.
In 30 seconds, a check of your gas prices.
680 News Time, 7:09.
680
News Radio Toronto.
At Rona, we've been part of the Canadian trades community for over 85 years. The ones who build this country and keep it running. Now, we're saying thank you by giving back. That's why we're donating 85% of our media space to the people who built this country, the skilled trades. Like Neutron Electrical, a local electrical contracting business who takes pride in doing the job right every time. Learn more at ronacanadiantrades.ca. Build it right. Build it Rona.
Now, the News Radio Toronto gas price update and process. The price did not change at midnight, staying at $1.35.9 a litre at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather coming up in 60 seconds.
Toronto's trusted news. 680 News Radio.
Genesis Downtown is excited to be part of the Downtown Auto Group's President's Sale. One day only this Thursday, 9 a.m. to midnight. It's our biggest event of the year on all in-stock vehicles. Discover electrified elegance with the 2023 Genesis G80 Electrified. Say goodbye to gas and hello to luxury. Plus, every new Genesis includes a 5-year or 100,000-kilometer warranty, complimentary scheduled maintenance, and convenient at-home valet service with no hidden fees. Join us this Thursday at Genesis Downtown, Queen Street East in the DVP, and find your ride.
Before building or replacing a fence, you need to do this.
Click before you dig.
Correct. It's the law to submit a locate request through Ontario One Call before digging for any size project. We all win when you click before you dig.
Experience a world of food at Copa's Fresh Market. Discover new tastes that will inspire your recipes. This week, get Ontario chicken drumsticks for just $2.99 a pound. Copa's Fresh Market, family operated since 1963. Visit copas.com.
680 News Radio Toronto.
680 News Time, 7:11. Time for Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Jasmine Graywall.
And starting with an update on the northbound 427 ramp to the East 401, we were watching a stalled vehicle, but just learning from MTO that quickly cleared away. We did receive reports of flooding on the West 401 just as you approach the northbound Allen ramp. So just a heads up about that. And then we also have a crash from earlier this morning approaching Kipling on the West 401. It's impacting mainly just the left lane. The eastbound Bloomington ramp to the North 404, that's westbound Lakeshore, eastbound Lakeshore. Both directions are completely blocked off between Strawn to British Columbia Road. This is all to accommodate the Honda Indy. Taking a look at the rest of our major routes in terms of just volume, and it's honestly a very quiet drive. Your typical Sunday morning drive. Besides the pooling in some areas, most of our problems that we were seeing earlier on cleared away, so that's wonderful. And then on our city streets, southbound Strawn is closed between Fleet to Lakeshore, also to accommodate the Honda Indy. Get Rogers Xfinity Internet, Canada's most reliable internet. Visit rogers.com for more. Next report, 7:21, and now with the forecast, Alistair Alders.
Well, Jasmine, looks like most of the showers have, for the most part, tapered off. Maybe still a few stray showers. Things have settled down after what was an active couple of hours, and the weather will be improving today as we see clearing to sunshine and a guaranteed high of 27, the humidex 32 with a northwest wind of 20 to 40. The skies are clear tonight down to 16, and then nice weather Monday, sunny skies and 24. That's a bit cooler than we should be for this time of year. Typically we're near 27. It is currently 21 at Pearson, 20 downtown. The guaranteed high today is 27.
680 News Time, 7:13. Texas officials have dramatically lowered the number of people missing from the July 4th floods from 97 to 3. At least 37 people died. The flood waters damaged many summer camps along the Guadalupe River, including the Children's Association for Maximum Potential, a summer camp for kids with disabilities. The camp's director says he's grateful for the volunteers who came to the camp to help with the cleanup and repairs.
I'd have been thrilled if 10% of the work that was accomplished would have been the end. But in 4 days, they just did a miraculous amount of work.
The camp's cabins are above flood levels, but the riverfront where most of its activities happened was heavily damaged. In 60 seconds, a check of your top headlines and sports. You're listening to 680 News Radio Toronto.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
680 News Radio Toronto.
0% financing is back at Scarborough Nissan during the Nissan Now sales event. Hi, I'm Gary Kingston, and yes, you heard that right, 0% financing. And it's available on 3 of our award-winning models. The number 1 ranked Rogue, the all-new Kicks, and our top pick sedan, the Nissan Sentra. These offers end July 31st, so hurry into Scarborough Nissan at Warden and Eglinton today or visit scarboroughnissan.com. Conditions apply.
Struggling with debt? Kevin Thatcher and Associates can help you regain control. As licensed insolvency trustees, they offer personalized solutions to protect your home, car, and family. With offices across Toronto and the GTA, Hamilton, Kitchener, and Cambridge, they're ready to assist you with the help you need. For a free consultation, call 1-888-329-5198 or visit billfixer.com. Kevin Thatcher and Associates, helping you achieve a fresh financial start.
Toronto's trusted news. 680 News Radio.
21 feels like 28 right now in downtown Toronto. Good morning, I'm Ali Kevion. Here are the top stories right now. One person has died following an apartment fire near Gerrard and Greenwood. 2 others remain in hospital. Toronto Fire is set to provide more details on what happened in less than an hour or so. It's race day on the lakeshore this afternoon. The green light set to turn on for the Honda Indy at around 12:30. A reminder, there are road closures near Exhibition and along the lakeshore for the race. Those are expected to clear by 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the rain, along with the thunder and lightning, has made its way out of the downtown core. It's now moving east. The sun will be out at some point today. Alistair Alders with your extended forecast coming up after sports. Time now for sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, Ben Howes.
Thanks, Alan. Well, the Blue Jays' torrid streak continues with another series win. They dropped the San Francisco Giants 6-3 yesterday. Eric Lauer pitched 6 solid innings, and the offense broke out in the 6th inning with timely hits from the bottom of the order to give the Jays the win in this one. The Jays go for the sweep today. Jose Barrios will take the ball as the Jays go for their 10th straight home victory. That would tie a franchise record set back in 1985. Rogers Center has become one of the toughest buildings for road teams to play in this year. The Jays lead the entire MLB in home victories. Elsewhere in baseball, the Yankees take on the Braves today at 1:30 and the Red Sox take on the Cubs at 2:20. The Yankees sit 3 games back of the Jays for first and the Red Sox sit 5 games back. The Toronto Raptors lost to the Sacramento Kings in Summer League action yesterday. 98-88 was the final. The Kings take on the Charlotte Hornets in the finals tonight at 10. In the 3rd round of the Open Championship, Scottie Scheffler enters the day with a 4-stroke lead on 2nd place. He is sitting at 14 under. And if you hear engines roaring downtown today, that will be the Honda Indy race. The main race kicks off just after 12:30 today. And finally, in UFC, Dustin Poirier lost to Max Holloway in the main event of UFC 318 last night. The fight marks the end of Poirier's UFC career. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
680
News Radio Toronto.
It's Employment Law Q&A.
From 680 News Radio and Canada's leading employment lawyer, Howard Levitt at levittlawyers.com.
Howard, true or false? As an employer, should I lowball the initial severance to get a better deal?
False. If you offer too little as an employer, you're bound to be sued. And once you start moving up, the employee thinks the sky will be the limit.
If an employee's conduct gives rise to a reason for discharge, I have to move fast.
True. If you wait too long, the court will no longer allow you to rely on the cause that you have. You have to move quickly when you have cause to fire them.
Before I discipline or move to terminate an employee, I better have all of my facts together.
True. You have to do your homework. Get the employee side of the story and ensure your case is ironclad.
To contact Howard, visit levittlawyers.com. That's levittlawyers.com.
Employment Law Q&A.
From Howard Levitt and 680 News Radio Toronto. Your trusted news.
680
News Radio Toronto.
680 News Time, 7:18. Residents of Jasper, Alberta say progress in rebuilding the town has been hard to come by in the 12 months since a devastating wildfire hit the town. More than 40 development permits have been issued, but many homes can't start rebuilding until their plots of land are clear of contaminants. A former vegetation manager with Parks Canada in Jasper says there's still lots of sadness hanging over the town.
People are moving forward, and they're to be commended for that. But there's still people who are sad and angry. It's a full box of emotions and energy, both negative and positive.
The town is planning to mark 1 year since the fires on Tuesday. July 22nd was the day last year when the fires were discovered and the town was evacuated. This is 680 News Radio Toronto. A Vietnamese man who survived the capsizing of a tour boat in Ha Long Bay said he escaped by swimming out through a window underwater. At least 35 people were killed and 4 are still missing, according to Vietnamese state media. The 36-year-old told the Associated Press that passengers asked for the boat to turn back to shore after it was hit by a storm, but the crew reassured them they were almost at their destination and kept the boat moving forward. Minutes later, the boat started shaking and then overturned. In 60 seconds, traffic and your extended forecast. It's 7:20.
Claudia was leaving for her pickleball tournament.
I've been visualizing my match all week.
She was so focused on visualizing that she didn't see the column behind her car on her backhand side. Good thing Claudia's with Intact, the insurer with the largest network of auto service centers in the country. Everything was taken care of under one roof, and she was on her way in a rental car in no time.
I made it to my tournament and lost in the first round.
But you got there on time. Intact Insurance, your auto service ace. Certain conditions apply.
With the Chevrolet Employee Pricing Event on full-size trucks, it's almost like you're an employee. You don't have to join the company's softball team, though, unless you want to. The Chevrolet Employee Pricing Event, on now until July 31st. Visit your Chevrolet dealership for details.
This summer, stream the hits on Sportsnet Plus.
No doubter.
Catch all the action wherever you are.
A great catch.
Blue Jays, National Bank Open presented by Rogers, UFC, and more. Subscribe at sportsnetplus.ca.
680 News Time, 7:21.
Rogers Xfinity Internet, traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Jason Graywall.
This report brought to you by the Big Apple. We are receiving reports about more flooding on our city streets. Toronto Transportation confirming that both the north and southbound of Parkside Drive is flooded between Algonquin Avenue to High Park Boulevard. So just a heads up about that. We also received earlier reports that on the westbound 401, just as you approach the northbound Allen ramp, there is some pooling to watch out for as well. We are dealing with the full closure, and this is all because of the Honda Indy that gets going later on. If you are traveling west or east on Lakeshore, expect all lanes of the Lakeshore to be blocked off between Strawn to British Columbia Road. And over on our city streets, another closure to accommodate the event. It's on southbound Strawn between Fleet to Lakeshore as well. These closures will be lifted by 1 a.m. Monday. Besides that, taking a look at the rest of our major routes in terms of volume, it's still pretty quiet. We do have a ramp closure. It's the eastbound Bloomington ramp to the North 404. This is all for long-term maintenance. Try the Big Apple's famous apple bread, pies made right before your eyes, and apple cider from the 401 Cider Brewery. Look for the Big Red Apple off the 401 at exit 497 or thebigapple.ca. Next report's at 7:31 with the forecast now. It's our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Well, a few stray light showers out there, but for the most part, the wet weather has tapered off and we will see clearing. The sunshine will be coming out as the day moves along. 27, the guaranteed high will feel like 32 with the northwest wind gusting between 20 and 40 today. The skies will be clear tonight. We fall to 16 and then sunny Monday, 24. Tuesday, 24 and mainly sunny. We should be near 27 for this time of year, but temperatures will warm back up Wednesday, 28 with a mix of sun and cloud. And then we're back into the 30s on Thursday with a mix of sun and cloud, but also a chance of showers. It is 21 at Pearson, 20 downtown. The guaranteed high today is 27.
680 News Time, 7:23.
Coming up at 7:30, the latest from the city's East End, where one person has died after an apartment fire. 2 others remain in hospital. Toronto Fire is set to provide an update sometime in the 8 o'clock hour.
680 News Radio Toronto.
Whether in the boardroom or by the pool, Seth likes to make a splash and wants a car that does the same. Aaron Park Lexus found him one that's sleek, stylish, and fully loaded, that takes him confidently from office to client pitch, dinner date to pool party, and always makes a memorable entrance along the way. Cannonball!
Be our guest at Aaron Park. During the month of July, get a 2.9% lease rate up to 24 months on a new 2025 UX300H at Aaron Park Lexus.
All you have to do is ask.
Know more and ask your smart speaker to play. 680 News Radio Toronto.
A 35-year-old woman from Canada has died after falling ill at the Tomorrowland Music Festival in Europe. A spokesperson for the festival says they were told she died on Saturday morning after she got sick and went to hospital the day before. It comes just days after the festival's main stage was consumed by a massive fire ahead of its opening weekend. Ukraine is hoping peace talks with Russia are going to happen soon.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine's negotiator has proposed to Russia to resume peace talks next week. The two sides have held 2 rounds of talks, but aside from agreeing to swap thousands of dead and seriously wounded troops, they have made no progress toward ending the war. Zelensky says in a post on X that Russia fired over 300 drones and more than 30 cruise missiles in an attack overnight into Saturday. At least one person died. It's part of Russia's stepped-up bombing campaign that now has it hitting Ukraine with more drones in a single night than it did during some months last year. Russia's defense ministry says it shot down 71 Ukrainian drones overnight into Saturday. I'm Mike Hempen.
A man has died after an incident with hospital equipment in New York.
A man who was pulled into an MRI machine in New York after walking into the room wearing what his wife said was a 20-pound chain around his neck for weight training has died. Police say when they got to Nassau Open MRI on Long Island Wednesday, officers were informed that the 61-year-old man entered an unauthorized MRI room while the scan was in progress. He died a day later. Adrienne Jones McAllister told a local news station she was undergoing an MRI on her knee when she asked the tech to get her husband, Keith McAllister, to help her get off the table. When he got close to her, she said, at that instant, the machine switched him around, pulled him in, and he hit the MRI. Julie Walker, New York.
In 60 seconds, your weekend business report.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio Toronto.
This portion of 680 News Radio is brought to you by the Herzig Eye Institute.
Hi, I'm Cherry Tabb, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. We often ask patients, what was your I've had it moment? When you thought, I've had it with glasses and contact lenses. The final straw for Bernie happened on a golf course, hitting his golf ball, hearing everyone say great shot, and being the only one unable to see it. When you finally say I've had it, Google Herzig Eye Institute. Call us for a consultation. There's no charge. Look after yourself. Promise me.
Lexus Downtown is excited to be part of Downtown Auto Group's President's Event. And this Thursday for one day only with extended hours until midnight. It's our biggest event of the year. Come lease one of our last remaining 2025 UX hybrids for $144.48 plus HST weekly for 2 years at 1.4% APR. Only a few available. So join us this Thursday 9 a.m. to midnight at Lexus Downtown 740 Dundas Street East in Toronto and find your ride.
And now your weekend business report.
I'm Tim Demopoulos. While many luxury automakers rushed to release their first battery electric vehicles, Lexus took a more measured approach, debuting the RZ in 2023 exclusively in the incentive-rich markets of Quebec and British Columbia. For 2026, the RZ gets a significant update and is now available nationwide. Martin Gilbert is the managing director of Lexus Canada.
We really wanted to bring a Lexus BEV. It needed to fit and suit the value of the brand in regards to the driving dynamic, the quality, the refinement of the vehicle. We've surveyed all our guests, our dealers, and even the media review. The original RZ was phenomenal in regards to driving signature, the refinement. It was quiet. It was a true Lexus. Some of the shortfall have been addressed in that revised version, which is more the power, the range, capacity for fast charging. Now we have an extremely competitive product.
The RZ comes with big performance improvements, and more available trims give Lexus customers more choice.
Now we're going to bring two additional models, the 350e, which is a front-wheel drive with one motor. That will provide longer range. 450e with the three grades, the signature, the luxury, and executive grade. The 550e, it's our first F Sport RZ. It is our fastest RZ ever. We're very excited. It has a really great aggressive look.
With your weekend business report, I'm Tim Demopoulos.
5 detours that led to hidden gems.
10 pit stops that became annual traditions.
20 games of I Spy that lasted from departure to destination.
Measure your RAV4's comfort and memories, not just mileage. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2025 RAV4 Hybrid LE all-wheel drive from $112 weekly for 36 months at 6.49% with $3,700 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? This summer in High Park, catch the Shakespearean classic you know and love, Romeo and Juliet. Celebrating 42 years of Dream in High Park, Canadian Stage invites you to grab a picnic and settle in for a magical outdoor theater experience with your star-crossed lover. Dream in High Park, Toronto's favorite summer tradition, runs until August 31st. Get your tickets today at CanadianStage.com.
680 News Radio is CFTR AM Toronto. It's 7:30.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio Toronto.
Good morning. It is Sunday, July the 20th. I'm John Leatherby.
And I'm Alain Kevion. Here's what's making news this hour.
Toronto Fire to provide an update this morning on a fire which killed one person and critically injured another.
4 people taken to hospital following a gas leak on a boat last night at Bluffers Park.
Same gig, new look, and a different title. The latest on TTC Fair Inspectors.
The Blue Jays take on the Giants at Rogers Centre in the third of this 3-game set. Jose Barrios will take the ball as the Jays go for the sweep. Sports at 45.
680 News Time, 7:31.
Time for Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Jason Graywall.
This report brought to you by The Simple Investor, beginning with a closure now on our city streets. If you are traveling on Parkside, doesn't matter if it's north or south, we're looking at a full closure between Algonquin to High Park. This is because of flooding. Not sure how long this is going to stay in place, but it looks like crews are on scene taking care of it. If you are traveling west on the 401 as well, we did receive reports about pooling just approaching the northbound Allen ramp, so watch out for that. Also, another issue approaching Kipling on the West 401, a crash that's impacting the left lane. Eastbound Bloomington ramp to the North 404 that's closed off for maintenance. We have some closures, and this is because of the Honda Indy. So Lakeshore, both directions, is shut between Strawn to British Columbia Road up until about 1 a.m. Monday. Over on our city streets as well, another Honda Indy closure, southbound Strawn between Fleet to Lakeshore. Is now a good time to buy investment real estate? Yes. At The Simple Investor, they make sure you rent every month, have no tenant interaction, and no repair costs. Find out more at thesimpleinvestor.com. Next report, 7:31, with the forecast now, weather specialist Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Jason. Well, we're seeing some peaks of sunshine out there now as we had that active period for a couple of hours earlier this morning. That's cleared off towards the east, and we will see clearing skies with a mix of sun and cloud developing today. 27, the guaranteed high will feel like 32, and the skies are clear for tonight. We fall down to 16. It is 21 at Pearson, 20 downtown. We're heading up to 27 for that guaranteed high today.
680 News Time, 7:32.
A man in his 70s is dead after an apartment fire early this morning in the city's East End. It happened just after midnight near Gerrard and Greenwood. A woman in her 70s was taken to hospital. She remains this morning in critical condition.
A woman in her 40s also taken to hospital with minor injuries. Fire officials are planning on sharing more details in a news conference later this morning.
4 people taken to hospital after a gas leak on a boat near Bluffers Park. This happened around 9 o'clock last night. All 4 with serious injuries but expected to survive. Toronto police are investigating. Their initial belief is the 4 may have been suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Well, there were thunderstorms across the GTA, including downtown in the early hours of this morning, but the weather has cleared up. 680 weather specialist Alistair Alders says things should stay clear with the Honda Indy set to get going in a few hours.
Well, a cold front clears southern Ontario this morning, and a strong ridge of high pressure will build in behind it. That will serve up brighter skies as the day goes on today, and then clear skies for Monday, Tuesday, and even fair into Wednesday.
The Roar by the Lakeshore starts just before 12:30. Defending champion Colton Herta took the pole position in qualifying yesterday. The Lakeshore is closed to traffic both ways between Strawn and BC Road.
680 News Time, 7:34. If you take the subway, the streetcar, or the bus today, you might notice that TTC fare inspectors got a rebrand. They're in a new uniform with a gray shirt and gray vest. They're now called Provincial Offences Officers. The TTC CEO says the changes part of the agency's efforts to make sure people pay their fares.
A pro-Palestinian group is criticizing Toronto police after 11 people were arrested at a protest in the Harbourfront area yesterday. Police said those arrested were facing charges that include assaulting a peace officer, obstructing police mischief, and carrying a concealed weapon. The Palestinian Youth Movement claims the police moved in to arrest protesters, quote, unprovoked, arresting people who were speaking or chanting in the crowd. The group claims half of the 133 local pro-Palestinian protesters and organizers charged since October 2023 had their charges withdrawn or were discharged.
680 News Time, 7:35. 7 people remain in critical condition this morning after a car plowed through a crowd outside of a club in Los Angeles early yesterday. LA police now say 29-year-old Fernando Ramirez was escorted out of the club, drove away, then made a U-turn and drove into the crowd. Witnesses saying he was pulled out of the car, shot, and seriously injured. He underwent surgery. He's now in jail, charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
The terrifying scene unfolding early Saturday morning in Los Angeles.
Everyone was looking for their items, their people, their loved ones, their phones, their lost friends. Everything was just scattered.
The LAPD says a motive for the crash is still under investigation. They're asking for help from witnesses as they collect video of the incident. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
680 News Time, 7:36. 5 former Canadian World Junior hockey players on trial for sexual assault will learn their fate this week. The judge has said she'll announce her ruling on Thursday morning. 2 juries were sent home before the judge decided to move forward with a judge-only trial.
This is 680 News Radio Toronto. Well, we've all seen it. A tech company CEO has now resigned after that video from a kiss cam at a Coldplay concert went viral online. The video showing Andy Byron, the CEO of Astronomer, with his arms around the company's head of HR before they duck and hide from the cameras. Coldplay's Chris Martin jokes about it.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Byron married to another woman. His resignation comes a day after the company said he was put on leave, and its board of directors looking into the video.
Well, it's the last weekend of Toronto's Summerlicious, but the good eats will keep going in Vaughan. There's a new event called Vaughan Flavors starting tomorrow with fixed prices, 3-course meals at 20 restaurants across the city. Mayor Stephen Del Duca tells 680 News Radio he's been to a lot of the restaurants taking part, and he's looking forward to more people finding out what Vaughan's food scene has to offer.
We're fortunate across the entire greater Toronto area to have so many great restaurants and a wonderful cuisine sort of scene and food scene. But Vaughan doesn't take a backseat to anyone. We have great restaurants here and wonderful entrepreneurs who've risked it all to deliver extraordinary food. And so I think Vaughan Flavors will help to showcase some of them.
Goes until August 4th. You can find full details at visitvon.ca/vonflavors.
680 News Time, 7:37. Tariffs and trade at the top of the agenda as the country's premiers make it to cottage country later today for a 3-day retreat.
The premier's summer gathering in Muskoka will be hosted by Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who has served for the past year as head of the Council of the Federation. It'll feature a Tuesday meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney, just before trade talks with the U.S. are expected to intensify. Most of what the premiers are likely to discuss stems from U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs. That includes the direct impact of the levies and increased pushes to remove interprovincial trade barriers and speed up major infrastructure and natural resource projects. Karen Rebo, The Canadian Press.
And the big film in theaters this weekend centers around beloved small blue creatures. CNN's David Daniel has a preview of the new Smurfs movie.
Isn't it grand living in a place where nothing ever goes wrong?
Oh no, something's wrong!
Papa Smurf must be rescued after he's kidnapped by evil wizards in Smurfs.
I like to cut loose and let them bring me down to where I'm supposed to be, what's palatable for them, or I'll just wind up bouncing all over the room.
The voice cast also includes Rihanna, Octavia Spencer, Sandra Oh, and some surprises.
You might get to the credits and not know that a lot of these people did these voices.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Coming up, a check of morning gas prices.
680 News Time, 7:39.
680 News Radio Toronto.
Ugh, tiny taco, itty-bitty burger.
Lunch is lousy out there.
Sure is. Little, limp, laughable.
Well, what about 5 classic Subway footlongs under $10 each?
Well, that would fix it.
Right now, get your footlong fix at Subway with turkey, ham, veggie delights, tuna.
Or cold cut combo.
You are cold cut correct, compadre. All 5 footlong, topped with fresh veggies, under $10 each. At participating Canadian stores, extras, taxes, and delivery additional. Expires September 1st. Subway makes it fresh like that.
The gas price update. Empro says the price stayed the same at midnight at $1.35.9 a litre at most GTA stations.
Canadians have been trusting Capital Direct for over 20 years, and with good reason. And now we're celebrating. Capital Direct has been recognized as one of the best in Canada and a top mortgage employer for 2025. If you could use $80,000, $280,000, or even $2.8 million, a flexi line from Capital Direct could help you achieve your goals. Join in the celebration. Call Capital Direct OMB 10549 at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL and see what's available for you.
CapitalDirect.ca. Natasha Ramsahai here, Chief Meteorologist at City News. Your kitchen tells a story. Does yours say chaos or calm? 310 Reno Design and Renovation transforms kitchens, baths, and basements into stunning functional spaces. Want to remove a wall? No problem. Prefer modern design or timeless tradition? No problem. Take advantage of their summer kitchen event and receive a free kitchen design. Some terms apply. Don't take a risk with your home. Visit 310reno.ca or dial 310 Reno, no area code required.
680 News Time, 7:41. Rogers Xfinity Internet, traffic and weather together on the ones with Jazz and Greyball.
This report brought to you by Leon's. Right now, we are seeing some slowdowns eastbound on the 401. Just as you approach the southbound ramp to the 427, it appears it looks like there might even be a crash on that ramp. I'm trying to spot it here on the cameras, but it's very difficult to see. So give us a call if you're noticing anything east on the 401, just as you try to get onto the southbound 427 ramp. If you are traveling westbound on the 401, approaching Kipling, there is a crash in the left lane from earlier this morning. And also a ramp closure, the eastbound Bloomington ramp to the north 404, that's closed off. This is for construction, so watch out for that. And just going back to that westbound 401 problem, approaching Kipling, it actually just cleared away. So that's some good news. We did receive reports earlier about some flooding on the West 401 as well, approaching the northbound Allen ramp. But it looks like the weather has cleared up quite a bit in most areas. If you are traveling on the lakeshore, we're looking at a full closure, both directions of the lakeshore between Strawn to British Columbia Road. This is all to accommodate the Honda Indy. And over on our city streets, we do have a full closure on Parkside, both directions between Algonquin to High Park. This is because of flooding as well. Over on southbound Strawn, there is a closure between Fleet to Lakeshore, also for the Honda Indy. It's Leon Summer Comfort Sales. Save up to 50% on select furniture, plus save up to $1,000 on select appliance packages. Visit leons.ca today. Next report, 7:51 with the forecast now. It's Alistair Alders.
Well, much of the GTA seeing at least a bit of sunshine in the mix now after a couple of active hours before sunrise, and we will continue to see clearing today behind a cold front. A nice strong ridge of high pressure will be settling in. So we will see clearing today, 27. The guaranteed high will feel like 32, and the skies are clear for tonight down to 16. Sunshine on Monday with a high of 24. It's 21 at Pearson and 20 downtown. The guaranteed high today, 27.
Thank you, Alistair. 680 news time is 7:43. Coming up in 60 seconds, a check of the morning's top stories and a look at sports.
Wowza deals at Food Basics will quench your thirst for savings. Get a 12-pack of 355-milliliter Pepsi or Pepsi Zero for just $6.98 each. Shop in-store and online until July 23rd. Food Basics, always more for less.
At Rona, we've been part of the Canadian trades community for over 85 years. The ones who build this country and keep it running. Now, we're saying thank you by giving back. That's why we're donating 85% of our media space to the people who built this country, the skilled trades. Like Concord Plumbing, a local plumbing contractor who takes pride in doing the job right every time. Learn more at ronacanadiantrades.ca. Build it right. Build it Rona.
Have you heard of Estrogel?
Estrogel?
Yeah, I just got a prescription.
Estrogel? What's it for?
Well, I'll tell you after the meeting.
Estrogel, brought to you by Organon. Talk to your doctor and visit estrogel.ca.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. 680 News Radio.
Well, the rain has cleared out of downtown Toronto. Blue skies and sunshine right now and 21 degrees. Good morning, I'm John Leatherby. Here's a check of the morning's top stories. One man is dead after an apartment fire early this morning in the city's East End, happening just after midnight near Gerrard and Greenwood. A woman in her 70s taken to hospital in critical condition. Toronto Fire to provide an update a little bit later this morning. 4 people taken to hospital after a gas leak on a boat near Bluffers Park, happening around 9 o'clock. Toronto police investigating an initial cause of 4 people may have been suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning. It's time for sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Ben Howes.
Thanks, John. Well, the wins just keep coming for the first place Blue Jays. The Jays dropping the San Francisco Giants 6-3 yesterday. San Francisco jumped out to an early lead, and Giants starter Logan Webb had the Jays' number for the first 5 innings, but the Blue Jays would get to him in the 6th, putting up 4 runs, and Tyler Heineman hit a 2-run blast in the bottom of the 8th to put the game out of reach. Eric Lauer was excellent for the Blue Jays, giving up just 2 hits and striking out 7 over 6 innings of work. The Jays and Giants will play the last of this 3-game set today. You can catch that game on Sportsnet. It's an early one today. First pitch will be just after noon. Jose Barrios will take the ball for the Jays, and former Blue Jay Robbie Ray will take the ball for the Giants. Elsewhere in baseball, the Yankees remain 3 games back of the Jays after coming back to defeat the Atlanta Braves 12-9 last night, and the Red Sox fell to 5 games back after losing to the Cubs. The Yankees and Braves play again today, as do the Red Sox and Cubs. Today is the final day of the Honda Indy race downtown. The main event gets started just after 12:30. On the hard court, the Raptors fell to the Sacramento Kings in Summer League play yesterday. 98-88 was the final. The Summer League final will go tonight. The Kings will take on the Charlotte Hornets. That gets going at 10. The third round of the Open Championship is on today. Scottie Scheffler is the man to beat in this tournament. He's 14 under, 4 strokes clear of second place. And in UFC, Dustin Poirier fell to Max Holloway in the main event of UFC 318. That marks the end of Poirier's fighting career. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
Let's talk incentives, not just for multifamily and social housing projects, but for HVAC professionals like you. The Enbridge Gas Affordable Housing Multi-Residential Program provides multifamily and social housing projects with financial incentives for energy-saving upgrades. And when you bring eligible projects to Enbridge Gas, you can get up to $400 per project. Visit enbridgegas.com/HVAC and start putting energy incentives to work for you. That's enbridgegas.com/HVAC. Terms and conditions apply.
Over 613,000 Canadian small businesses use TikTok to grow and succeed, like Chez Mag Fine Canteen on Ile d'Orléans in Quebec, who went from feeding crowds to feeding the local economy. Or Smudge the Blades in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, who uses TikTok to grow their business while supporting Indigenous youth. Visit TikTokCanada.ca to learn more about how TikTok is helping small businesses in Canada make a big impact.
At 7:47, time for the Road Ready Report with 680's automotive specialist Tim Demopoulos.
The hot summer sun doesn't take a break just because you're behind the wheel. UV rays can still penetrate your side windows, exposing your skin to potential damage during long drives. Wearing sunscreen with SPF 30 or higher is a smart first step, especially on your face, arms, and hands. Sunglasses with UV protection help reduce eye strain and shield against harmful rays. Consider window shades or UV blocking film for added protection, especially if you have children or pets. Light, breathable clothing can also reduce sun exposure while keeping you cool. And remember, your car's interior surfaces can get dangerously hot, so keep a cover on your seats and steering wheels, and consider a windshield cover when parked to prevent discomfort during peak summer heat. With a Road Ready Report, I'm Tim Demopoulos.
There's a film shoot at Hamilton's North End beginning today. Hamilton police saying you shouldn't worry too much if you see something that would usually set off some alarm bells. The shoot will include low-flying helicopters, mock explosions, as well as actors with fake guns. It's happening near Green Mountain Road and Centennial Parkway, expected to last until Friday. It was a scary moment for Katy Perry fans at her concert in San Francisco last night. She was flying over the crowd, strapped to a butterfly, singing her song Roar, when she suddenly dropped a few feet. One concert goer saying the people who saw it knew something was off.
We were scared for her. We were scared for the fans that were also below her.
Perry ended up finishing out the song. This comes a few weeks after Beyoncé was left hanging up in the air in a tilted red car prop during a show that took place in Houston. Today marks 56 years since U.S. astronauts landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin became the first to walk on the lunar surface after reaching it in the Apollo 11 lunar module. It was a promise by President John F. Kennedy in a race to space to be the first country to land on the moon, when he proclaimed it after taking office in 1960 that the U.S. would do it by the end of that decade, as the U.S. and Russia spent the 1960s battling for space supremacy. 680 News Time, 7:50.
Hey, it's Dean Ticoles, and this is your invitation to own. Right now at Markham Infinity, lease the lavish 2025 Infinity QX80 Sensory for just 1.99% over 36 months. Plus, special loyalty offers for current Infinity drivers. Performance, luxury, and style, all wrapped into one powerful SUV. Your QX80 is awaiting at Markham Infinity. Visit us at Kennedy Road in the 407 or at markhaminfinity.com, because it's Markham for Infinity.
Some vacation destinations have that, ooh, pick me energy. Like, ooh, look at these beaches, or ooh, we're so cultured. But in Cancun, the vibes speak for themselves, especially when you can get exclusive Sunwing deals on summer vacations when booking by July 20th. An underwater museum, Mayan ruins, yes, beaches, all-inclusives, nightlife that's giving way past my bedtime. The value is tangible. Call your local travel advisor or at
680 News Time, 7:51. Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones with Jazz and Graywall.
Thank you, John. This report brought to you by Subaru. Taking a look at the cameras here, most of her major routes are in pretty good shape, minus this one problem spot, and it's just very difficult to see exactly what's going on. Oh, I'm seeing it now, finally. So if you are traveling eastbound on the 401 and you're looking to get on to the southbound 427, it appears there is a crash in the far left lane. Multiple emergency crews are on scene, so just watch out for that. That is causing some slowdowns. Now, if you are traveling on the DVP, that's in great shape. It's moving along smoothly. The Gardner as well, no issues to report on there. We are dealing with the closure on the Lake Shore, so the Lake Shore is blocked off between Strawn to British Columbia Road. This is because of the Honda Indy. These closures are going to stay in place until Monday, 1 a.m., and we have another issue now. We just are getting word about flooding. So on the southbound 410 ramp to Queen, apparently the right lane is impacted due to the rain that we were seeing earlier. So just watch out for that. Head to your local Subaru dealer for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models. See dealer for details. Your next report is at 8:01, and now with the forecast, it's our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Jason. Well, that is a good point you make about the pooling and flooding on some roadways because the weather has tapered off, and many of us are seeing a bit of sunshine now, but you will still need to be careful out there because obviously, even though the rain has stopped, it will take a bit of time for those flood waters to recede. But overall, weather-wise, it's a clearing trend today. We'll see the sunshine. It's starting to make an appearance now, and we'll have a clearing today with a guaranteed high of 27, the humidex 32, and the skies are clear for tonight down to 16. Lots of sunshine the first half of the week. Sunny Monday and Tuesday, highs near 24. We're up to 28 Wednesday with sun and cloud, and by Thursday, 32 degrees, sun and cloud with a chance of showers. It is 21 at Pearson, 20 downtown, and the guaranteed high today, 27.
680 News Time, 7:53. Coming up at the top of the hour, Toronto Fire to provide an update shortly on a fire which left one person dead and another in critical condition. This happened around midnight in the Gerrard and Greenwood area.
Food Network is turning up the heat.
It's the destination for the best eats on TV.
With hot new shows featuring your favorite Food Network stars.
Where?
Guy Fieri.
It's so good up.
Bobby Flay.
Now we're cooking.
And many more.
I'm April Julian, and if you can stand the heat, then get into this kitchen.
Food Network. Nothing tastes better.
This is the place where real flavor lives.
If you don't have Food Network, call your cable provider and ask for it.
Toronto's trusted news.
Sent directly to you.
Sign up for the 680 News Radio Be the First to Know newsletter. Get the GTA's latest news stories, plus weather and details on your favorite contests, like the 680 News Radio Weather Guarantee.
Delivered right to your inbox, twice weekdays.
The 680 News Radio Be the First to Know newsletter.
Brought to you by Diamond and Diamond Lawyers.
Subscribe now at toronto.citynews.ca/newsletters. And always be the first to know.
First place Blue Jays have turned the Rogers Centre into a major league tough building for visiting teams to play in this year. More from 680's Ben Howes.
Blue Jays win. It's a good day to be a Toronto Blue Jay.
The 2025 Blue Jays have given their fans plenty to cheer about. They sit first in the AL East and look poised to return to the playoffs after a disappointing season last year. And no team has been better at showing the hometown fans a good time when it comes to winning games in their own building. The Blue Jays own a sparkling 34-16 record at Rogers Centre, the best in the MLB. They have not lost at home since June 22nd. They can tie a franchise record of 10 consecutive home victories when they take on the San Francisco Giants today at 12. I'm Ben Howes.
Well, there's some new ways you can express yourself in messages and on social media.
Every year, the Unicode Consortium rolls out some new emojis, and this year, a hairy creature is joining the fray, not unlike creatures of legend like Bigfoot.
Maui in Australia and the Yeren in China and Almasty in Europe. I don't know, there's so many of them, and they're all hairy, right? So we have hairy creature for all of those legends of the thing you thought you saw.
Jennifer Daniel is the Unicode Emoji Subcommittee Chair. She says the new additions also include a distorted face.
Distorted face, it's inflated. It's also kind of like a fisheye lens. Either way, it expresses a vulnerability or some sort of tension and flexibility.
Ballet dancers, a trombone, and a treasure chest are also among the new group, which are all aimed at giving people new ways to communicate online. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
An assessment of the RCMP watchdog raised concerns about favoritism.
The workplace assessment of the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission for the RCMP found a clear call for change and action at the leadership level to restore credibility and trust within the organization. The Canadian Press recently obtained a copy of the May 2024 assessment through an Access to Information request to Public Safety Canada, which ordered the report. A public safety spokesperson says the Review Commission has put in place several initiatives to bolster employee well-being following the assessment.
Barrios takes
Jim Bronskill, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
All this search engine optimization stuff, generating sales leads, blogging, it's so confusing. How did you do it?
I just Googled, and I found this company called TechWise. Then I checked their online reviews.
And?
Oh, they got tons of great reviews and a huge following on social media.
So?
Well, TechWise got our company to the top of page 1 after only a few months. And they've kept us there ever since.
That's the only review I need.
Taking your business to the top, TechWise. It's the President's Sale at Infinity Downtown, our biggest sale of the year. Get the lowest prices on all in-stock new vehicles. Lease the 2025 QX50 or QX55 from 0% APR with payments as low as $161 weekly on select models. Plus, receive a $500 service credit to use at Infinity Downtown and get bonus cash on select models. Join us this Thursday, 9 a.m. to midnight at Infinity Downtown, Queen Street East in the DVP, and find your ride. There's no better time than now to own an Infinity.
Business, a presentation of Dynamic Funds.
Watch for the box office bounce back to continue.
Home. Baby, home.
As Superman and other films score this month following a string of hits starting in the spring.
We've got our sights set on another $4 billion summer.
Paul DeGarabedian, senior media analyst at ComScore.
That's only happened once since the pandemic, back over the Barbenheimer summer, and we're looking to do that again with this incredible lineup of films powering big box office.
And on top of Smurfs, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, that lineup also includes...
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, First Steps.
It's clobbering time!
And...
Your lifelines. It's like they've intersected before.
Freakier Friday, providing a non-animated option as budget-conscious families look for staycation activities and PG films continue their hot streak.
That's a movie that could really take off.
Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
You know Kevin, right?
When you need rack, right away.
Yeah, Kevin Osmond from rack.ca. Of course you know him. He's on 680 News Radio. I mean, you may not know him personally, but sure feels like it. Radio's like that. That's what Kevin loves about radio.
It's more about personal branding. If you make the brand more personal, people can relate.
So you wanted to advertise with radio. Why 680 News Radio?
Well, as a business owner, I always listen to 680 News Radio, so I figured it was a great target market for other business owners. We've been advertising with 680 News Radio for about a year now, and we've seen great growth in the business. It's grown our brand and our recognition in the industry, and a lot more of our customers are actually mentioning they've heard the ad.
So, Kevin, what brings you here?
I really enjoyed this experience, and I wanted to share with everyone how much fun it's been and how well it's worked for our brand.
Get 680 News Radio working for your brand.
Visit RogerSportsandMedia.com.
680 News Time, 8 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio, Toronto.
Good morning. This is Sunday, July 20th. I'm Alain Kevion.
And I'm John Leatherby. Here's what's making news this hour.
A man in his 70s is dead after an overnight apartment fire in the city's East End. 2 women remain in hospital, one of them in critical condition.
It is race day. The Honda Indy's set to take place this afternoon. That does mean, though, some road closures still in place on the lakeshore.
On the day where a large portion of the TTC Subway's Line 1 has no service due to track work, fare inspectors are now rocking a new title along with a new look.
The rain, the thunder, and the lightning, that is all adios, muchachos. It's shaping up to be another solid day weather-wise. Your forecast, seconds away.
Jose Barrios takes the ball as the Blue Jays go for the sweep against the Giants. The Jays are poised to tie a franchise record for consecutive home wins. Sports at 15.
680 News Time, 8:01.
Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Jason Graywall.
Thanks, Alen. This report brought to you by Canadian Tire in support of Jumpstart. So getting confirmation about that crash southbound on the 427. It's just as you get onto the southbound 427 from the 401, approaching the 401. So it's actually on the south 427, approaching the 401 in the left lane. That's confirmation from MTO. Multiple emergency crews are on scene, so watch out for that. And then we do have that big closure due to the Honda Indy today. So Lakeshore, both directions, are closed between Strawn to British Columbia Road. At this time, I'm really not seeing slowdowns on the Gardner or even the Lakeshore. If you are planning a trip to the downtown core. It's a smooth drive. Even the rain has stopped. So hopefully the reports of flooding that we received earlier get better as well. So if you are traveling on our city streets, we do have a closure Parkside between Algonquin to High Park. Toronto Transportation told us that this stretch is closed because they're dealing with the flooding situation there. Southbound Strawn between Fleet to Lakeshore, that's also closed for the Honda Indy. Canadian Tire in support of Jumpstart, 20 years, 4 million kids, 100% inspiring. Jumpstart helps families overcome financial barriers to sport and play. Donate at jumpstart.canadiantire.ca. Your next report is at 8:11 with the forecast now. It's Alistair Alters.
Well, we have a general mix of sun and cloud around the GTA. More clouds than sun, though, north and east of us. But overall, it's a clearing trend for today as this cold front that brought a bit of active weather overnight moves off towards the south and east. 27, the guaranteed high, will feel like 32 today. The skies will be cleared tonight. We fall to 16 degrees. And northwest winds today gusting 20 to 40. They diminish to 15 to 30 overnight. Still holding at 21 at Pearson, 20 downtown, and the guaranteed high today, 27.
680 News Time, 8:03.
An early morning apartment fire in the city's East End has left a man in his 70s dead and a woman also in her 70s with critical injuries. It happened right after midnight near Gerrard and Greenwood.
A third person taken to hospital.